even the mighty take from those who suffer.
Safety. Certainly not productivity this time. You should all thank Stilton. The only one of you lazy ignorants worth anything. Back to work.
Stilton agreed to a meeting with the woman heading up the family committee. What's her name again?
Lucia Pastor. Well, she's supposed to talk to Stilton soon about new safety rules for the mines. Fewer hours for the children working down there, too.
Why does Pastor care in the first place? She isn't one of us. Never seen her carrying a pick or a shovel.
There's a rumor that she was in love with a miner. Someone who died in an accident. They say his body's still under the mountain, buried in silver.
I think Lucia Pastor just has a good heart and a strong will.
Well, if Stilton listens to what she has to say, instead of following every idiotic request coming from the Grand Palace, I won't complain.
Stilton's not a bad man. I bet things would be a lot worse without him running the mines. Oh, now that's a relief. Don't know what I hate to deserve that.
The Duke would be grinding the families here into nothing if he was left unchecked.
Maybe no one else will even notice. But things have changed here. For the better.
Why do so many have so little? It was never meant to be this way. I can see why you like her.
That was quick.
She's almost as secretive as you. This city is a place of riches, but not all get a seat at the banquet table.
Remember what you saw here when you're back in Dunwall, Emily.
My mother, painter, inventor, and philanderer, famous throughout the Isles, loyal only to himself.
Let's get back to the dreadful whale. Sorry I couldn't take you to see Stilton myself, but I guess you found the place. Years back, Stilton was always quiet about the Duke, and never figured out just why.
Are you ready to leave? The dust is wreaking havoc on my throat.
Yes, I found a way to get around Paolo and Byrne, and I've been to Stilton's house. Let's go. Duke Luca Abel tore down the original palace in Karnaca, his birthplace,
in order to build a lavish structure that cost enough to feed everyone in Sarkonos for years. It's said to be a sprawling estate to humble all others, a monument to his ego and sense of princely entitlement. But whatever the Duke has done to his nation happened while I was Empress. In Dunwall, we were content to look the other way as long as the silver kept flowing. I've got to get inside the Grand Palace, deal with the Duke, and find a way to steal Delilah's soul.
Can you feel it? This is my last night. Soon, I'll dissolve into the great nothing.
You should be at peace.
I've stayed too long. Find Delilah's spirit. Trap her with this cage of dead flesh. Set me free.
I don't understand.
You will, very soon.
Long for someone to go after the Duke. Another aristocratic boss, living in a palace and sucking them in people who built it.
I regret my affiliation with the young Duke, but his father and I were close.
Empress
It was my
Jessamine
hope that
herself
Luke
once
would
offered me a
eventually grow
suite
up
at
and learn
Dunwall
that his
Tower,
actions as ruler of
complete with a
Sarkonos
laboratory,
very
finest apparatus in the Isles. Let it
You could always count on the
I'm not some conjurer from penny novels. Besides, I have a great fondness for my prize. My interests often find me coming and going in odd hours of
been a
night.
fine motivator for
It's
me.
hard not to consider what
Once the
might have
Duke
been
falls,
different
it's my hope that we
had I
can
plotted
build
a
something better
different
here.
course
Something
in my
more
life.
representative and
Is
inclusive.
there something I might have said or done when Delilah was my apprentice that could have prevented all this? Or his character, a fixed star we must all follow in darkness?
Now we're going after the one who started it all. The Duke himself. I forgot the thrill of it. Planning drop-off points, and picking the approach. Thinking about the best ways to kill somebody who lives behind high walls. But with the excitement, there's a black echo that comes back to me for what I did at Dunwall Tower. If anyone deserves killing, though, it's Duke Luca Abel. I've loved a number of women, and even a couple of men. But I've never loved anyone like my Deirdre. After I left home, those first years on the streets, she's all that kept me from the bottom of the river. I could sleep on a pile of garbage under a leaky awning as long as she was there with me. Sharing a tin of potted meat or a bottle of brandy that we nicked during the day. The Duke and his little brother came through Dunwall. And Deirdre and I got in their way as they stepped out of their fancy coach. The Duke goaded his brother, calling us wharf roaches. And it was the brother who swung the stick that killed her. Splitting her skull, there were wooden gazelles on top of the coach. and I snapped one off and drove it into his eye, as deep as it would go. Deirdre was already gone. Dead as a doornail. Lying in the muck, staring up at the gray Dunwall sky. On the run after that. I was hunted by the City Watch and even members of the Grand Guard up from Zirkonos. People looked at me like I was cursed, spitting whenever I got close. Everyone knew I'd bring trouble. Even the gangs. The Duke's brother has been dead for a long time. But now's my chance to get back at Luca Abel for setting him off against pretty, young Deirdre. Nothing was the same for me after they took her away.